Hey everybody, welcome back to another LEGO Room Update. It's Jordan here. Today we're going to continue working on the LEGO City. I couldn't decide today whether or not it's going to work on the LEGO City or the mansion. But I've decided I want to work on that raised platform over there. It's on the verge of being done, and when it's done, it's going to look fantastic. Got the observatory, the airstrip, and then the Lion Knight's castle. I've got two plates open here. This one here is going to be allocated to the jousting set, like the medieval jousting from the Kingdoms lineup. It's going to look super cool there. And then we've got to customize the entire plate to accommodate that set. And then I think this tall plate right here is going to be allocated to the blacksmith. Plus I want to build a custom horse stable. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool up here beside the blacksmith, because of course the blacksmith is quite small, so there's going to be a lot of leftover space on that plate. But in order to start working on that, I need to finish building this medieval jousting set from the Kingdoms lineup. They sure don't make sets like they used to. This thing is so cool. So we're going to finish building this, and then we're going to work on placing it up there on the raised platform. Whoa. Before we do anything though, we've got to make some mochas. Check it out. I've got frothing chocolate milk right there in the frother. Double cocoa espresso, and that's the wife's. This is mine right here. Look at that though. Woo! Little mocha. Oh yeah, great way to start the day. Wait a minute, I thought these pirates here had to stay like in the water. I didn't think they could go on the sand. I've got to put these guys on display. What a sweet minifig lineup. Like, wow, look at that. Captain Salazar. So cool. And these are from, of course, the Silent Mary, which is right up here. Eventually, this shelf is going to have to change, because when we get Ninjago City Markets, it's 2 base plates. So Ninjago might be moving. Maybe over there by the Titanic. That might look pretty cool, hey? Get a little bit more space. Have a cool Ninjago like setup on the shelf there. I do like how the Titanic is over the beach, but I don't think it'll look too bad over here either. But yeah, these figures were on the minifig wall, and I was like, why are they up there? Like when I redid it, they should be with the Silent Mary. Why aren't they with the Silent Mary? That's because the Silent Mary used to be under the table for the underwater scene. Maybe one day we'll get an underwater scene and we'll put the Silent Mary back down there. But I don't know, I sort of like looking at it when it's on the shelf. All right, everybody, check out this epic jousting set. Pardon the background. I'm working on making a white sort of review station here, and I've just got to do some touch-ups on my wall there. But we may as well start with the minifigures. You get 9 of them in this set, and they are like one of the main highlights. I think they're the things that drive the value of this set. These 2 knights over here, they're paired up with some awesome horses. The horses come with like the decorative coats and also the armor, like the horde on the front. There we have the Lion Knight's horse, and we also have the Black Falcon Knight's horse. Like, it's just awesome. That is just such nice added detail. The print detail is incredible, right? Then we have the Black Falcon Knight right here, about to do some jousting. And then we have the Lion Knight as well. Just so much detail on these minifigures, like their armor. It's just so nice. And they come with like the jousting sticks, the helms, and also the shields. In addition to those 2 minifigures, we've got the Green Princess right here. Some really nice print detailing, and also the King and Queen. This is a nobleman. And we have 2 Lion Knights. They're actually a little bit different. They have different faces. He's just got like a little patch of hair underneath his mouth there. And then we have a peasant boy. That is what it's called, a peasant boy. Yeah, these minifigures come with some awesome accessories, all the different weapons. And there's also 2 more weapons found within the knight's tents over here. They're called weapon tents. So you get 2 of them. The red and white one is for the Lion Knight, and inside there is a mace. It's a really nice inverted slopes there to create the entrance of the tent. Looks pretty good. It's got the flags on the top there. And then we have the Black Falcon Knight's tent right here as well with the double-sided axe. I honestly don't think that LEGO would make sets like these here in 2023. They're sort of violent, you know, like there's a mace and a double-sided axe, and jousting I wouldn't classify as like a friendly sport. Like somebody's going to get hurt, right? It's sort of violent. We also have our jousting fence right back here. And on that jousting fence, there are 2 more shields. So you've got a Lion Knight shield on that side and a Black Falcon Knight shield on this side here. And it's just a pretty standard build with some dark brown tile, some reddish brown plate, and some cylinders to support it up off the ground there. So it's pretty cool that we got our minifigures, our tents, and also the jousting fence. And then, of course, the actual castle as well, which is pretty neat. Separate from the castle is actually the royal viewing box, which looks pretty good. It's just lifted off the ground there using some of the 3 tall slopes. And then the front of it has some of those flag elements in white and red, a nice shield there. And this, of course, is where you can position your royalty, your king and your queen. There's some cherries in a bowl there for the queen, and then a bottle of rum there for the king. And it's nicely covered with some curved slopes there. And the colors are good. It's just reddish brown with the dark brown tiles. And there's also some gold studs there to provide a nice color as well. Pretty basic build, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty good for what it is, right? Just a little royal viewing box. A good place to position your king and your queen. It's built on some 6x8 green plates, and then there's a few steps there leading up to the elevated viewing box. And then there's just some red and white tiles sandwiched between the plates there, which adds some nice color as well. And the castle has like this large archway right there. And this just sort of sits perfectly between that archway, sort of fills that hole there. So the castle is pretty basic. We have 2 towers, and they're connected together by these windows and the stone wall. And also the reddish brown arches there. And the roofs are really nicely built with some slopes and some of those corner slopes as well. So just nice roof there. And you can see there's a little window right there. So if you so choose, you can, I don't know, put something in there, just like I did with the princess right here in this little viewing area. And then below that, there's a door where I've put one of the lion knights, and same with the door on the other side as well. This area is a little bit different because there's some stained glass here, built using some of the transparent red and yellow plates, whereas the side here has that little fenced off area where you can position one of your minifigures. A really nice build style though, it uses a good combination of parts. Like we have these interesting corner bricks and also some snot mounted cheese slopes just to add a nice texture. And then the cylinders there too. And then above the doors, there's some of the like larger wheel well elements or mud guards. And that's over this viewing area as well. And there's just lots of great part usage here that makes it an interesting shape and adds a nice texture and detail, such as these modified pieces right here over top of those arches. On this side here, there's another viewing spot, and I've put my peasant boy there. He's holding a flag and a bucket. And the way you access that is a little ladder, and they just used a fence element mounted like that to create that ladder. Over here, there's a separate room. I like the angled roof. There's little curved windows and some fence elements built into the wall, and also the sand blue color there. And that's a nice texture on those 1x2 bricks as well. And both of those small little sections there will actually hinge off the main castle. And that will allow you to sort of enclose the jousting arena. In fact, the original description of this set, which you can find on brickset.com, suggests that you buy 2 of these sets to sort of enclose the entire thing. That would be pretty cool. Another thing you could do if you had 2 of these sets is actually put them back to back and make it into one large set, which would be pretty neat. I think it would be much cheaper to just part this out on Bricklink. The main driver of the cost of this set is definitely the minifigures and all of the minifigure accessories, such as those shields there. So the hinging components are actually built right into the castle walls, and then it has an open back, so there is some detail in here, not much. It's nice that these floors right here are tiled off, so when you come in that door, it's nicely tiled off, and that's the same with this side here. Then we just have some added detail, like there's a little dresser right there, a little cabinet, a table right here, and a shelf. This conjoins to the other side where there's a little table, and then a little bit of space right here underneath the roof. And this side has a little piece of cheese and a rat. And then right over here, I've put my nobleman sort of standing there, not doing a whole lot. So it's pretty basic interior details, but it definitely looks good from the front. So this set was actually originally released in 2012. It has 1,575 pieces. It came with 2 instruction manuals. These instruction manuals are awesome because they have like this brick in the background. That looks super cool. Big shout out to Purple Cat. She actually sent this to me in fan mail. Thank you so much. Her minifigure is currently chilling right up here on platform 9 3/4. So thank you so much, Purple Cat. An amazing set, and those minifigures are over the top. In fact, 6 of them are exclusive to this set. So that is pretty cool. Definitely want to do it some justice by placing it in the LEGO City. So why don't we take care of that today in this video. So now that we've got the Kingdoms Joust ready to go, it's time to place it on this little mini hill. Now this thing is only like 3 bricks off the ground, so it's going to be really easy to blend in with the other hill. It's going to use all sorts of slopes and 1x1 plates and cheese slopes and bamboo and leaves and all that stuff just to blend it in so it looks like it's sort of seamless with the Lion Knight Castle plate. So it's pretty big. It's 2 48x48 plates. It should be able to accommodate that set. Before we test fit it, why don't we just take care of some of that blending. Here's a quick before clip. It's rather blocky right now. Sort of looks like Minecraft, but we're going to transform that using all of these parts here. Got some vegetation, some curved slopes, regular 1x2 slopes, cheese slopes, plates, bamboo, and of course the 1x1 plates. And after, that makes a substantial difference, and when we place it up there with the other hills, it'll blend in just perfectly because it's at the same height. And take a look at the medieval jousting on the double mills plate there. It fits like perfectly. Now, we're not just going to place it on there and call it a day. Essentially, this entire top here has to be re-landscaped, just like what I did with the Lion Knight's castle. So this whole top has to be replated with various colors. And what we're going to do, rather than having the fence on green, it's got to be on brown, right? Like an authentic jousting match. So we'll lay some some brown plate, put the fence in, and then replate this entire thing. And maybe there needs to be some custom like bleachers or stands made so that people can actually view the joust, because when you have medieval jousting, there's always tons of people watching, but the set didn't come with any bleachers. So we're going to have to create some custom bleachers as well, and hopefully just transform this plate to make it look epic and accommodate this medieval joust set in just like an amazing way. And what I forgot to mention, or I just sort of breezed right over it, I guess. Look at this. There's 1x2 bricks there with the hole in them, like the Technic ones. So those, you can put Technic axles into it. So if you did have 2 of these sets, you could literally make a full like oval. That would be so neat. But I think our bleachers are going to branch right off there. So it's going to be like an extension of the set. How many parts did this take? I have no idea, but the entire surface has been plated off in green and reddish brown. Yeah, it's starting to come together. That looks really good. It just sort of transforms this whole plate and makes it look more authentic. Happy that we have the parts to do stuff like this, because in the past I didn't. And now I do, so we're able to make some super cool stuff like this jousting match that's about to go down here. And we're not done yet. We're going to be adding some more detail over here. Got a really cool idea for that. It's going to be awesome. Here's the start of it. But we also built these bleachers right here. And what I did was just match the aesthetic of the jousting set. So it's dark and light gray. There's some of those cylinders and also inverted slopes there, the 2x3 ones. It's built on green plates, so it blends in there. And these bleachers just have 3 studs of seating space, but there's actually an overlap, so it looks like there's 4 studs, right? Then I used some of those really cool textured reddish brown bricks on the back side of the bleacher, and then I matched the aesthetic here as well with the dark brown tile handrail and also the cylinders with the 1x1 gold studs. So yeah, that will actually clip right in spot there because I've got a Technic brick there, and I can just fire it right into there. And that will clip in spot, and it pretty much comes right to the edge of the plate. Then we'll be able to put a bunch of minifigures just chilling out, enjoying the jousting match. But we've got one more structure to build, and that's going to go over here. I'm pretty excited about it. I've been gathering pieces for it, and here's all the pieces. Oh yeah, there's going to be all sorts of food. Speaking of food, Millie's all jealous because Dad's having shrimp for lunch. What a lunch, hey? Wow, that's amazing. They're like, give me some shrimp. You know what you guys remind me of? Has anyone ever played zombies on Call of Duty? You know at the end of the round when you leave a crawler? That's what they remind me of. Can I help you guys? You guys are like dogs. They're just coming after the food here. You guys are hilarious. It's a medieval concession stand, everybody. Matches up with the castle pretty well. Got the red and white covering going over top of some kegs here. And the covering just branches right off the wall there with some slope elements. The roof is an angled roof. And it's just hinged in spot there. It's got some tiles on the reddish brown plate. And it can actually open right up too. It's got an arched sort of service counter there, I guess. Like an arch going over top of the service counter, and the service counter is nicely tiled off and has some of the inverted slopes on the bottom. And then the smoke coming out of the chimney there. Chimney's built into the wall. Coming off the inverted slope there. It's got some masonry bricks and some 1x2s and stuff. And this roof will actually just open right up. It's on hinges, built into the wall to reveal all the interior details. Not much going on inside there. The floor is completely tiled off. We've got a grill there. And on that grill is a giant turkey, a turkey leg, and also a pig. And it does have some trans orange and red elements inside there to represent coals. So they're keeping that food nice and warm for the attendees of the event. And then there's also a couple kegs or caskets there as well, full of ale. So you can make your way to the concession stand here and grab some meat only, or some ale. You just got to be a little bit careful when you're buying your food from the concession stand because you pretty much are standing on the playing field. But you know what? They just shut down the concession stand and they have somebody move the crowd away while they're jousting. Yeah, that's what they do for sure. But yeah, this jousting tournament is started and this guy is getting knocked off his horse there. Unfortunately, the Lion Knight has lost this round. And his mentor is not very happy. But the mentor of the Black Vulcan Knight is pretty fired up. Got those little weapon tents on either side. And then also placed a bunch of minifigures on the stands there. So those look pretty good. Got some action poses happening there. They're doing a toast right there. Cheers! Yeah! This lady here is pretty fired up about the outcome of that round. Her husband, not so much. That's pretty neat. We also added some trees back here just to fill that space out, a little bit of height in the back left and right corner. Overall, I think these additions are quite nice, though. They do a great job of sort of filling this whole area. I mean, we allocated 2 48 by 48 plates, so I think this set just needed a little bit more. The additions just do a pretty good job of framing it, sort of making it look more complete. I'm pretty happy about that. So you know what? Why don't we place it in the Lego City? You know what, everybody? I'm smiling right now. It looks awesome when it's back there. I'm so fired up on the raised platform. Cannot wait to get it done because when it's done, it's going to look fantastic. And that's just a whole project that I've been working on for so long that will be done. Let's take a look at it. I guess slowly but surely we're getting the raised platform done. I guess it's been a pretty quick pace though, hasn't it? We got that observatory placed, then we did the airstrip, added a whole bunch of custom trees and that whole custom area right there with all of those awesome trees on the foot of the hill that has the Lion Knight's castle. Got that place, which is looking pretty cool. The trail connects all of them. I have to continue this trail so that it goes in front of the jousting set as well. And the jousting set isn't done yet. I'll talk about that in 1 second, but just take it in because look at that. Nice pop of color on the back wall, adds some height, and from afar it looks amazing as well. I'm extremely ecstatic about the outcome of this. It looks awesome. Now, I'm not done because you see the texture here and the texture here and how the texture is on the top of the plate. Well, I've got to continue that back here. So a bunch more blending has to happen around the tournament area. Probably, maybe not so much here. This is probably nicely mowed grass. I don't know how they're mowing their grass back in the day, but whatever. It's kept up, it's kept in good shape, I guess. But I've got to do the texturing here. Now, before I do that, I want to finish this plate because I'm not sure how the trail is going to connect there, if there's going to be a trail coming down so the horses can come down here. Because like I said, when we do work on this plate, I'm going to create some sort of horse stable. So I'm not sure what the connecting details of that are going to be. So before I texture this plate, I've got to figure that out. But for sure, this trail is going to continue in front of the jousting set. But it just looks great. Like, I love it. Like, castles are so cool. I wanted to build my medieval scene for so long. Just never got around to it because it was like underneath the table and just wasn't top priority. I knew I didn't have enough parts to service that massive platform that I had down there that was like, I don't know, what was it, like 40 base plates or something like that, maybe even more. But when it's small and manageable like this, I have enough parts to do it correctly. And that was my main concern, is when I did the medieval area, I wanted it to be mills plated and I wanted it to be highly detailed. So now I have this small area, which is a grand total of 6 48 by 48 plates, maybe more than that, I guess 7, because we got 1 over there, 2 right here, 2 for the jousting, and 2 for the medieval blacksmith. So yeah, now I'm actually getting around to doing the medieval area, which is awesome. You know, somebody commented the other day saying, you sure say awesome a lot. And then it's like in my mind now, every time I say awesome, I'm like, man, I do say awesome a lot. That's just because it's Lego and everything about Lego is awesome, right? But here it is from afar. You can see it does a great job of adding some color to that back wall. Whereas the Lion Knight Castle, not as much. It's more so just gray. But the red roofs of the medieval jousting set there really do a great job of adding some color and some height to that back wall there. Yeah. So that's the jousting set. Then we get the blacksmith, and we're going to do some sort of horse stable right there. And then I've got to create those platform coverings that will cover up that ugly hole there, and also those colorful bricks. And then join that path as well, or that trail that starts way over here by the elevated train station and makes its way through the trees in front of the Lion Knight's castle and then up to the jousting. So yeah, pretty cool, eh? Pretty excited that I got that done today. Thank you so much for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed this little update here and sort of a review of this medieval jousting set. Pretty cool. I wish they built sets like this today. They should have a castle lineup. Like, sure, they do 3-in-1 sets and they do 90th anniversary sets, but there's no actual castle theme. And I wish they did that. Thank you so much. Have a great day and farewell.